So if you're anyone like me who worked a 9 to 5 corporate job, I did for 12 years as an account executive in the tech industry, but you've also always wondered what it would be like being your own boss, what it would be like running your own business. I think the holy grail in life would be to earn enough money to fund whatever lifestyle you wanted to live, but also have that flexibility to be your own boss, not be confined to be working Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. If you wanted to take off a Wednesday afternoon, you can. If you want more life flexibility, you can, but of course, still earning enough money to fund whatever lifestyle you wanted to be living. Also being super passionate about it, waking up every day with intent and purpose and all this kind of good stuff that makes us feel fulfilled and happy at the end of the day. So I have been a coach now for 9 months, and so I simply wanted to share my experience with you, because I'm sure that there's a bunch of people out there that are wondering what is it actually like trying to start up your own thing. So what I needed to do first of all was simply set up the business, right? Myself as a coach, it's a lot about my brand, my personal brand, what I stand for, how I'm going to help people live with more purpose and also integrate sustainable health habits. So I needed to build up my brand and therefore create some platforms. So I created a website. I opened a new Instagram account. I then started posting on LinkedIn, YouTube, recently just started posting episodes of a podcast on Spotify, and really just trying to put as much content out there as possible for people to see me, what I stand for, and how I can provide value and essentially help people. And so now we've got the softwares and stuff all there, ready to go, content creation. I honestly never thought I'd be in this position where I'd be posting all of this content. I'm doing LinkedIn 3 times a week, Instagram about 3 times a week, a YouTube video 1 or 2 times a week. Like, it's a lot. And I never thought I'd be in this position because I never really wanted to do it. Like, if I go back a couple of years ago to my career break, I didn't take half as many photos or videos as I should have. And I kind of wish I did now, but I kind of wanted to live in the moment, as cheesy as that sounds. I never wanted to be that person or those tourists you see with taking, a photo and a video of absolutely anything and everything. But yeah, now it's just a part of the business. I'm hoping it's just the start of it, because I'm trying to build up the brand and get in front of as many people as possible to obviously get as many clients as possible. And then once you've got a client base, you can then, have word of mouth. Your content's going to be all your reviews and all that kind of stuff instead of the majority of new content. I still want to be posting videos, especially on YouTube, like longer form content, informative stuff on, how to live with more purpose and how to be healthier as well, that kind of stuff. But I definitely don't want to be just kind of focusing on content creation, which I think you do really have to focus on for the first, really 6 months or so to try and build up that brand. Okay, clients, and this is no particular order, right? I've just listed a bunch of kind of takeaways that I've had in these 9 months. So clients, I originally thought it would be easier than it has been, because obviously we all think we're great, right? We all think that we provide a lot of value. And for me personally, I know the position I was in a couple of years ago where I was pretty miserable. I was just coasting through life, playing it on safe mode. And I was honestly probably only showing 20% of Billy, 20% of the potential that I had to offer. And for me anyway, that made me feel super guilty and just unhappy in myself, right? When I was looking at myself in the mirror, I was like, you're just wasting your life away pretty much, right? It sounds dramatic, but it's true to some degree. So yeah, I thought that everyone wants to live with more purpose, and I thought that everyone wants to live healthier, and they probably do, but not everyone maybe takes life as emotionally as I do. In a way, people are kind of just happy with their life, they're comfortable. That's not a bad thing. And for me as well, I never had a coach before I became a coach. I never think I needed a life coach, or I never wanted to spend the money on it, or I never wanted to get someone to tell me kind of how to live my life or whatever like that. So I get it. So now thinking back on that, it's been harder to get clients, but I understand why. And so what I would have changed, or what I am starting to change, is just getting a little bit more simpler and clearer on my message and the value that I'm going to be providing with people. There we go. Look at that. Let's all celebrate, shall we? Because living more purposefully is a very deep topic, right? It's essentially like how do we get more out of our life? Like, where on earth do we start with that? And what on earth are we going to talk about? There's a million and one things we could talk about. We'd be here for hours talking about it, right? So for me, trying to condense that all into like an elevator pitch or like a 1 or 2 line thing, what I did was I found really, really difficult. And so now I'm trying to just make it more simple. People can relate to it. And then all the deep kind of fulfillment stuff and the profound results, come later on down the line, right? So with it harder to get clients than I thought it was going to be, this has created a more resilient mindset. So this is a positive, right? So having more patience. Like, I've been surprised at kind of the lack of engagement in certain like posts, certain platforms. You create a piece of content or a post and you think loads are going to people, they're going to love it and they're going to interact with it, etc. And what you have to think about is you see a bunch of content, right, which you like, but you probably don't click that like button, or you probably don't comment on it. And so I'm hoping anyway that a lot of people have seen it, but they're not necessarily liked it, even though it resonated with them or whatever, right? We can't engage on every piece of content we see every day just because there's so much. So having the patience has created a lot more resilience in me, and just kind of being able to take more punches. And like I said, it can get your confidence down a little bit, or you can start to question yourself a lot of the times, when you put out good work and it doesn't get the feedback that you're expecting. That really does create more resilience for you. And I think that's it's important to have an emotional resilient mindset, moving forward, because it just helps you tackle challenges in life a lot more efficiently. Okay, and on a positive, there's been some positives, but this is a really, really big positive. Being my own boss, I've really found that like my productivity has been higher, and I think it's because, as humans, I don't think we're really designed to be confined to, you have to work Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. Like, now, I work when I'm feeling productive, which luckily is the majority of the time. But I'm actually working on the weekends now because I really enjoy it, because you don't have all these email and notifications and all this kind of distractions coming in at you. So I can normally get on with some really, really deep work. But also that's because I know I can take a Tuesday afternoon or a Wednesday afternoon off if I'm not necessarily feeling it. And so not being confined to working a certain period of time, hours in the day and Monday to Friday, has really, really been an eye-opener for me, that it's just a lot more natural when you work when you're productive. Now, I know that's obviously a danger, because sometimes people might not think that they're productive, and that's where laziness and motivation will come in. And, well, I can't really help you with that. I'm just saying from my personal experience, I love what I do. So would I say I'm working more hours? Maybe, but that's not like a flex or anything like that. That's actually the opposite of the messages that I'm trying to put across to people. Work smarter, not harder, and have more life balance and that kind of stuff. But it's just been an interesting observation that I feel a lot more productive the way I can dictate my time. So if I could finish with one piece of advice, it would be to not try and perfect things. So like I said, with myself trying to fuel people with a purposeful mindset and health habits, it's a lot to talk about, right? And I have changed my elevator pitch a million times. I've changed my kind of title on LinkedIn and Instagram profile a million times of what I do, trying to condense it all into like one sentence. And I'm trying to perfect things, right? But it's always going to change, always going to evolve. And so if I always was just so consumed about condensing or trying to perfect things, I'm never going to be going out and reaching out to people and trying to talk to new people and get new clients and that kind of stuff. There's never going to be a perfect time, and you're never going to feel 100% ready, or things are never going to be 100% perfect. So my advice would be just to get some kind of base and foundation of what you do, and just go out there, make mistakes, learn from it, grow from it, etc. Because otherwise you'll just kind of keep procrastinating and never get on with it. So anyway, I want to keep this video relatively short. So yeah, those are really the first 9 months. The cool thing is I'll be doing another one of these in 6 to 9 months, or whenever some kind of big milestone happens within the business. But those are just some general thoughts and things that I've done, things that I've experienced in the first 9 months of going out, being my own boss, doing my own thing, and stepping away from the 9-to-5 corporate world. Appreciate you watching. Any questions, please leave them in the comments below.